What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. There has been so much Yu-Gi-Oh! News dropping this week, even without the ban list dropping itself, that it's been hard to sit down and do a market watch. So we're just gonna go ahead and do two videos today for you guys, starting with the Madolche re-buyouts. Now, this does come with new hype and news. Originally, I was saying I didn't feel like this deck would perform as well as people thought under the new master rule, where people were buying this out time and time again, re-waving it, which is what keeps cards up in price, and they didn't have true amazing going first place. Now they picked up a couple of new cards, and going first, or being forced to go first when you lose the dice roll and your opponent knows what you're playing, gets a lot better. With that, we see that even if you had the money for some of these cards, it's really hard to get them for any kind of a fair price. Completely out of stock on TCG Player is Pudding Cess Chocolate a la mode, and we look over here and wow, towards $55 to $60 if you're trying to buy. And they were $60 on TCG Player that disappeared, so they were either pulled or they actually sold. And I hope you use my TCG Player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly when you're making terrible buying decisions. Why would I be calling this terrible when so many people are running towards it? Mageline going back from 24 to 28, now back to 40, but over on eBay towards 35. Well, first off, you should always be checking both. Get the best deals for yourself. Do check eBay when you're buying. And second off, we've had a joke going around our live streams that the next Battles of Legend will be Battles of Legend Sweet Revenge. Now, we have a reprint March set coming with Dual Overload, and we also have, moving forward, the Battles of Legend, which hopefully Konami learned their lesson from last year and puts before the WCQ, giving us that kind of just sweet point of getting reprints. They are printing multiple new Madolche cards. Their eyes have to be on these prices because they do study the secondary market. They are interested in making products worth the money you're spending, and I think we will see reprints of these at some point this year, hopefully before the WCQ. Now, the new support is legal before the WCQ if it doesn't just get yanked out of a core set or something. So I do think that the hype and traction for this deck is real, but will the prices stay the same? I would personally be listing and be one of the only sellers right now for this card if I had any. Looking at Mystic Fighters, we're not here for Kitchen Dragon Maid for once, even though she's bubbling up to ridiculous and insane prices. We are here for Mardell, Generator Boss of Light. They also got new support along the way that is very good, very real. I would be looking at Boss Stage as well right now. This deck is nice, and I underestimated it when it first came out. Some people showed me how it's played. I do think it takes a lot of big brain energy, and of course not getting Ghost Ogred, other things like that, but I really do like how it plays. When we look over on eBay, she's similarly listed and bought out towards the $15 to $16 price point. I think this deck was slept on. People are waking up to it, especially with the new support announced, but it is somewhat difficult to play. Cherubini is going up here towards the $20 mark very, very fastly. You see motivated sellers popping in here and there. On eBay, 15, then 18, and it does go towards 20 within a couple of listings. I think that Master Rule Revised has a lot of hype, and BA is one of the decks at the forefront, despite having probably 2 FNL list updates, ban list updates, before the WCQ. A lot of people are putting their faith that they're going to be Burning Abyss players, or that's what they're going to be playing. We also see Block Dragon going out. Oh, it might be for the new Rock archetype, John. No, this needs specifically Earths. If you're hyping this for the new Synchro Rock archetype, stop it. Get some help. This is clearly because of Burning Abyss. It's gotten multiple waves of buyouts and is getting to a ridiculous point, and people are even asking if this will get banned. Yes, the 5th Dragon Ruler is gonna get itself banned here. I don't know about that one, but Block Dragon is an amazing card. I think it'll be under Konami's radar for now, and it will take an actual place in the metagame to hit there. And we do see, like, it was at a $10 price point at its maximum, towards $7 available here already. People want to make those sales sales. A lot of people have been hanging on to this for a long time. We'll see where it goes from here. Tribute Lanny is towards $11+ over here on TCG Player. It is available for 8 by one seller before it goes to the same pricings and higher with only 8 results. Some people are telling me they do expect this to do well under the new Master Rule, while I know some very experienced players are telling me it just can't do it. Let me know what you guys think of Raid Raptors, and you know, you should be getting your Link Monster in the March set. Dual Overload, I would hope so. Let me know where you think it will take off under the new Master Rule versus all the other decks that got boosted. Yeah, we can't help but cover Legendary Duelist Magical Hero here. Tier 0 is keeping on their prices and is lowest, and you can use code WATSGOOD5 supporting the channel directly and also getting yourself a discount. I see that Magician's Soul is towards 76 here. Remember, it's not shorted in the EU where it is in the US, so they're taking advantage and being able to list lower than a lot of people, but it's also why you see Australia sellers being the cheapest over on eBay before you see the USA sellers listing higher. How long the international market will be able to impact these lower prices versus how widely open this is will determine where this falls. I think it will be a $60 card. Look at past Legendary Duelists. Even though this is meta impacting, it took buyouts in a while for things to rise above $35 period. This has a lot of smoke and hype behind it with spirals, and of course Dark Magicians themselves are collectible, meaning playability. I do think this can hold towards 60 to 50, but I do expect it to go down from here for a bit. Again though, with that hype, and with international quantities only lasting so long, where will it realistically land? I don't know myself. When we look at Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier, he's towards 50 already. I called him falling towards 30. A lot of people are still remembering Immortal Destiny, and even though this is shorted to about a playset per case, I think he can rest around 30 before spiking back up to this price point. And then the Dark Magicians keep surprising me. I thought for sure this would be sitting around $20, and Tier 0 is going cheaper on it than anybody else. And when we look around the market, we do see a Canadian listing actually for around $48 before it's above 50 on eBay for our Liquid Soldier. And then Sunrise is something I want to talk about. He's towards 22. I could see this falling all the way towards $12, maybe even minimum dropping 8, because he's a one-of in the extra deck. And think about it this way, there are over 4 to 5 times as many of him per case as there are Malicious Banes and the other Legendary Duelists. While a lot of people are looking forward to this card, it has the name Hero in it. It will just be so available. It's in more than every other box in the US. I think that with so many people getting their hands on them, he will definitely go down in price even from here. We're still in pre-sales. You got to remember this. While it's a Legendary Duelist, the curse of Legendary Duelist usually is that not enough of them are opened. So many people are rushing towards this one. The quantities and the sellers that will be undercutting each other are going to be very high. And thanks to this being top heavy, if you're looking for Arc V cards, you're looking for, you know, your 5Ds cards, you're in a very good place versus the Dark Magician and Hero players. So keep that in mind and do watch the prices. I can be completely wrong in my predictions, but I just see everything going down from here until the international quantities do run out. And even then, you're going to see the sellers try to figure out how to get in there. Moving on to TCG Player, everything's kind of ridiculously proportioned out of control. This is why I tell you to wait on TCG Player versus pre-sales. In about a week, we'll see the true market over here versus the rest of the market. Or maybe even in a couple days. It moves very fast when people start listing over here. Wandering King Wildwind for the Synchro players. I really like these Duelist Saga stunks. Like, really. They are so low at certain points, and they just keep boosting through the ceiling and are highly underestimated. We see that he's almost completely bought out over here. He is a very good card for Synchro looping under the new Master Rule, and we see he's towards $5 over here as well. Brilliant Fusion Ultimate Rare. Really? People are going after this one. You think it might come off the list? I don't think so. I think this card is busted, broken, and Konami has had enough. Gem Knight FTK is even still viable, although this isn't the forefront runner of that. I just don't think it'll peel off in that manner, but I do love this card. We see it up over on eBay as well after, well, I guess there's some kind of thing over here where we can select a type near mint. Oh, there's played and different versions. Okay, that makes sense. So it is towards 30 and then 35. I actually click on things before starting Market Watch, huh? Witchcrafter Creation is towards $30. It's bumping up in price. It was available for $23.24 earlier in the week. And also Red Ice Fusion heading towards $17 for the supers, while the commons are still available for 2 to 3. I think the commons are actually going to go up from here and run out. I really hope that Red Ice Fusion gets a reprint somewhere, and we don't know when we'll get Dragoon, right? Like, we're not 100% when we'll get that card in our hands, but people are anticipating it very much so, and they're going for the holofoil version for the meta cards. We see auctions even on eBay. I left auctions on for this because, wow, they're actually substantial, and then it's $25 on eBay for this super rare. I think that people are gassing in terms of the holographic version a little too much, but I do think the commons could rise even towards $5 from here if it does not get a reprint, and even in the hype mode part hit $5 before reprints ever announced. The card's really good with the Predaplant link. The Predaplant link plus that is amazing for almost any deck, and you will see people play the bricks for it. It's just gonna happen, and I think it's pretty crazy, the potential of this card. Now, I know I kind of glazed over this. I thought I had more Witchcrafter cards up. I think that this is a little overhyped, but they are getting way better cards. I like Konami giving second and third looks at these side sets, and when they don't pan out, really giving them the cards and attention they need to try to give them a chance. I just don't see it doing it like Madolches do. I don't see it doing it like the other decks did. While the cards in support are crazy, I think this is overinflated, and it needs some results before it really gets there, unless the proof is in the pudding, as they say. The card just does it for them. It's not enough, at least to me. But let me know if you think I'm wrong on that one, and let me know what you think of everything in today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. I always do these in one take after figuring out where I'm going, so I know it's a little choppier today, but I do appreciate you guys listening through and seeing what I have to say. And use my TCG player link in the description down below when shopping, when it's best for you. Always take care of yourself first, and right now it's looking pretty good on tier 0, and they do have sealed as well. Those EU boxes and cases, they look a lot more appealing, seeing those ratios from other places coming out as well. I saw 5 cases from another EU seller. They had the same kind of luck as tier 0, aka the EU boxes not having shorts. Wow, that is interesting. Versus Simply Slim. Well, Slim, guess what happened to him? He opened the case and got 0 liquid, but he did get 4 Magician Souls. What an interesting time, guys.